It's 11 a.m. Pacific and 2 p.m. Eastern, and all time zones in between. These calls are also live simulcasted on, I think, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Facebook. And we also archive these and turn them into audio podcasts, and you can listen to them wherever you normally consume or wherever you get or listen to your podcast. So welcome everybody. We haven't had a call in a little bit just because of weird Mondays, the day that this kept falling on, and then there was one Monday where I had heavy travel and couldn't do it. So we're back on track. And you have me today, and next week, exciting, we have Shant Bonosian on, not next week, 2 weeks from now, who's the number one loan officer in the country, probably the world. And he's a great guy. You won't want to miss that one. He's very a big sharer. He loves to share what he does and what he's doing. So that'll be awesome. Little housekeeping. We do have a crush group starting on April 12th. If any of you all were waiting on a crush group, I know I've gotten a couple texts on that in the last week. So that is starting, I think, April 12th. I don't know the time zone exactly. We also have some good, we've talked about this before, but if you haven't seen them, they're great to grab and text to your agent partners. There's two newer podcasts with two really good, really professional, awesome agents. And one of them is Ernie Carswell. The other one is Fran Katzen. I see Taylor's on here. Hi, Taylor. If you want to share those with your agent partners, if you're an agent and you're on here and you haven't seen those, you will definitely enjoy them. There's lots of really, really good, super good nuggets in there. So let's get it on. The market, interesting. We've got a lot of NAR stuff heated up right now. I'm sure all of you all are getting pounded with that. The press is really not doing us any favors. I have yet to read actually a good article on this yet. If any of you all have an actual good one that's based on facts and not supposition, I'd love for you to text or email it to me. But everything I'm reading is gobbledygook and almost looks like it's just put together. Really, it's almost like it's shock journalism. They're just trying to scare everyone, and hey, there's going to be millions of agents out of business, and consumers are getting everything for free now, and I don't know. I just know if anyone's read a really good, fairly written article, I would love if you could send it to me. If you could text or email it to me, that would be really great. Or if you're on right now and you're not driving or whatever, if you have it, you could put it in the chat even for everyone else. That would be great. But I have yet to see a good article on it. Listen, what you should be saying to agent partners, and if you're an agent listening right now, what you should be thinking is most of these proposed changes or proposed things that are going into effect, I think it's July 1, are already accounted for. And if you don't think that the powers that be at all the large mortgage companies and large real estate companies aren't ready, prepared, and able with whatever specific paperwork, whatever they need to keep operating, you're crazy, because they are, and they've all been all over this. The reality of it is really based on the consumer having to pay a certain fee to sell their real estate or buy their real estate, and we all know on this call that's been negotiated forever. And so good agents have always negotiated this, and the reality of it is I think a lot of these lawsuits are based on unprofessional agents that acted unprofessionally and caused this type of stuff to go down. But the reality of it is I don't think we're going to see any major changes. to the way the agents are doing business. I have to tell you, if it got more unprofessional people out of the business, I wouldn't be sad about that. Whether it's agents or loan officers that just got out of the business because they thought the sky was falling. So, if you have an opinion on that, you can go ahead and put it in the chat if you want. If you know something extremely interesting and you've got your camera on and you want to unmute and talk, glad to have it. Normally I keep everyone muted on these calls because we have a lot of people on here at the same time. But if you have anything very significant to add, I just really can't find any well-written good articles yet because I think it's all too loosey-goosey. Now, over to the market. We haven't had a big drop in interest rates, of course. I don't know if anyone was even expecting to have a big drop in interest rates. What I'm being told in the market by agents in the market is that we dealt with what I'll call an apathetic buyer through most of 2023 that either A, didn't want to move because they had a low rate, or B, thought they couldn't move because the rates were too high. I can't buy anything. The rates are 7% or 6 7/8 or 7 1/4 or whatever it is. But then on top of it, the people that were willing to move and didn't care about their low rate that they had, about leaving their rate, that needed to move, or were in a 2-bedroom house and now they have 4 kids, whatever it is. What feedback I was getting that I've gotten for the whole year and into this year from agents is there wasn't anything sexy enough on the market for them to want to move to. So it's not that there wasn't some inventory. We know there's not a ton of inventory, but it wasn't that there wasn't some inventory, but the inventory that was there wasn't primo. I think those of you that have your cameras on right now, I'm sure every one of you would give me a thumbs up if I said, give me a thumbs up if a house comes on the market in your area, whether it's a starter home, a starter 3-2, or a more affordable home that needs no work, that is gorgeous in an incredible area. Thumbs up if that house is still getting 15, 16, 20 offers and is gone in 10 seconds. I'll go ahead and put my thumb up on that because that is going on everywhere. Okay. And what that's telling you very quickly is that if the product that's available is what I'll call good product, we all have people that want to buy those houses, even at a 7 or 7 1/8 or 7 1/4% interest rate. So it's a lot about the quality of the product, which I know no one on this call can, no mortgage people on this call can, predict or control. There are agents on this call that could, maybe sort of control it a little bit, but the reality of it is I think if there was a whole bunch of great product on the market right now, I think everyone would be busy immediately with the amount of what I'll call pre-qualified docked buyers, wannabe buyers, people that want to buy, that all of the lenders have basically sitting, old school, in a pile on your desk. It's really not a pile on your desk. It's really in your cloud, but fully docked files ready to go. So I think now what I'm being told by agents is that inventory is coming on the market now or within the next month. I'm being told that they have appointments to list these homes that are the homes I was referring to, that are, I'm just going to call it a cherry house. I mean, just a gorgeous house, doesn't need any work, in a great neighborhood. Whether it's a starter or a baby move up, I'm not talking luxury or super luxury homes. I'm talking about affordable stuff, that those houses, there will be multiple offers on them and they will be gone very, very quickly, which is what we're seeing right now. So I think that's good news. I think we may, have an Easter bunny kind of spring market this year. We haven't had one of those in a while because it's been wacky, where, right after Easter, it just explodes. And I know all the lenders that I talk to all the time some of them have hundreds of completely pre-qualified and docked buyers ready to roll. They just want, they need the product for the people to buy. We still have huge numbers by survey of millennials that are stating they want to buy. If there was anything they could buy, they certainly would buy. So we have a lot of pent up demand. And then I would say the number one thing, you all have heard me talking about this for months on end, but I'm still running into this, is math. What I mean by math is, can you pencil sell? Do you know how to pencil sell? Are you spending time with agent partners, or agents, are you spending time with your lender partner dialing that in so you can overcome every objection immediately? It is factual. You all have heard this and you've talked about it a million times, but there's so many people that don't know this still. Oh, I'm waiting for the rates to drop. Excuse me, do you understand how economics work? You buy the house today for $500,000 with a 7% 30-year fixed, or wait and buy it for $580 with 5 and 7/8. Do the math. The math is very bad in the second example. You are much better off buying the house now with a higher interest rate at a lower strike price all day long. That math works out in the favor of the consumer every day, all day. There's not a day it doesn't work for the customer or for your customer. And the question is who's doing the math? Is the math being done? This is a real deal market. You have to know how to do math. You have to know how to do ROI on maybe the house they're selling. You need to be able to do all these things to sell a lot of houses and to do a lot of loans. And, you know, as we've lost lots of agents and lots of loan officers over the past 15 months, you know, hopefully we're left with, you know, our business just keeps getting more professional and more professional and more professional as we continue to move forward. So we're left with people that can do math, but I'm still amazed at how many people can't do math. And they just fold like a cheap tent in a 1 mile an hour wind immediately under, you know, a tough objection of, oh, the rates are too high, I can't buy. Or, you know, I have 3%. I mean, I can never leave that. You know, I mean, do you have an answer for that? I mean, do you understand? Do you have an answer? And are you sharing that answer with your partners? Are you really working together to help get deals done? If you don't feel like you are exhausted at the end of every day, I am suspect of what you're doing right now in your career. I'm very suspect. You should be exhausted. You're talking to way more people than you've talked to in years. You could be talking to the same person 15 times. I mean, you should be exhausted. Agents and loan officers should be, again, hot water, lemon, and honey every night at whatever time it is that you finally knock it off and stop talking to people. By the way, if you think you're emailing people and they're reading your emails and they care, you got another thing coming. They pretty much don't care. Very few people are reading email right now. You should be on the phone with them, old school, on the phone, on the phone. Pick up the phone and dial. You should be talking to people all the time. Okay. Again, take a look at what you're doing during the day. I mean, you should be wearing that headset out or whatever you're wearing when you're talking to people on the phone. Hopefully, you're not wearing your neck out. Hopefully, you're wearing some kind of headset. But we are back old school. I forget. I was just in Green Bay, Wisconsin with Kristen, and I forget we were talking about, or it might have been today. I was doing a presentation. I said it really feels like the 90s right now. Like this is a 90s market right now. This is how you got to work. You got to work like you're in the 90s right now. And I obviously there was bad tech in the 90s, but you really had to grind. There was nothing simple. Yeah, 93 was simple because there's a lot of refis, but the bottom line is you really had to work, and everyone should be working. Okay, so just remember, you know, the key word is grind. You know, take a look. I would challenge you, even today at the end of the day, look back on your day and see what you did for the day. What did you really do? Who did you talk to? And I'm not. Hopefully, you weren't talking to underwriters for 10 hours about a dumb condition on a dumb file. Hopefully, you were doing business building activity all day long. Again, our job is to find people who know people that need us. Become best friends with those people that need us and get them to refer other people to us. That's our job. Our job is to get referrals. Not to sell real estate or not to do loans. Now, a big trend. Again, people have been talking about this, but now it's really, really real. Is your pipeline of pre-qualified people, whether you're an agent and you're dealing and you're asking your lender this question, or you're a lender, your pipeline of pre-qualified people, are they really pre-qualified? Are they completely docked? Are they docked? Are they totally docked out? Because the best loan officers in the country, and any of you all are doing this here, you can certainly feel free to thumbs up. You're writing 10-day closes. I can tell you, everyone else is. Bring it. 10 days. Let's go. Jam it through at 100 miles an hour. I am ready to go. We're ready. Contract, appraisal, homeowners insurance, earnest money, close. Okay? Those of you that have been through a crush group, people are living and dying on the BIC program. Everything should be up to date and completely ready to roll, to dominate in this market. You want to dominate, maybe a messy broker, or you want to dominate a credit union with really, really aggressive, arm pricing or something that you can't get your hands on. The best thing to do it is to do it with speed. Speed. Okay, that's really the only way to do this, with speed. And your agent partners should know they can write 10-day contracts. Bring it. Let's go. They love doing that, by the way. They get paid quicker. But you should be able to tell people to do that and not be scared. Even in a market where people have had a lot of their staffs rift, you should not be scared. And if you can't move stuff through that fast, wherever you are, you need to take a really, really hard look at your systems. What are you doing when a file gets in? I'm not talking about contract to close right now. I'm talking about lead to contract. Okay, contract to close. Everyone on this call should be able to jam something through in 10 days. It's what the file looks like when it gets past contract, or when the contract comes in. What does it look like when it's going in? Is it a complete dumpster fire? And if it is, then you cannot close a loan in 10 days. And your agent partners clearly cannot write 10-day closes for you. Okay. So again, you've heard me say this on this call before, but I would really take a look at some of your approvals, see the conditions on your approvals, and really try to tighten that up. Those of you that know me well, there's some of you on here today that have your cameras on. Know that if there are any conditions on a file for me, it is a fail, with the exception of things that you can't control, meaning title work, homeowners insurance. If it's a pre-approval, obviously the appraisal, stuff like that. Anything else is a fail. Large deposit, fail. LOXs, fail. Kids' ages, fail. That's all a fail. No one should be picking up your file again. You should have none of those conditions. Literally none. There's no reason. I will fight with you in public. Anyone on this call that wants to debate me that it's okay to have those because my LOA gets them. Well, that's your LOA doing something else when they should be doing something else. Meaning that's the same LOA that you're mad at because they can't get to something because they're busy docking or redocking a file because you were sloppy. Period. I love that when I hear, oh, they're so busy, I'm so mad, I need another one, they can't work on my stuff, and I'm like, you got them working on the same thing 5 times. No wonder they can't do anything else, because you're being totally inefficient how you're working. Now, I want to finish today with mental and physical health. I'm normally not this guy, but I will tell you, when you are working this hard, and I hope everyone on this call is really busting it right now. You need to make sure that you're taking care of yourself so you do not burn out before we get in another epically awesome market. we're not in a horrible market right now, but it's only going to get better from where we are. And I definitely don't want you burnt out. So, you need to watch your sleep, and you need to watch, your exercise. It could be as easy as just going for a walk. But you really need to really take care of yourself. You should have a routine. This market's going to turn. And when this market turns, it's going to be crazy. And, I don't want you to underperform because you're just not in shape mentally and physically. Okay. So you really need to make sure that you're taking care of yourself and you're doing the things you need to do. And you're not completely burning yourself out, because when I'm talking to loan officers and really good agents, they're using the B word a lot with me, which is burnout. Like Joel, I mean, how many nights can I work till 10? How many people can I pre-approve? I got 150 completely pre-approved BICs. For those of you that haven't been through a crush group, that's a butt-in car. That just means someone completely docked out. Okay. I got 150 of them. Oh my, how many more could I have? I'm talking to all of them all the time, about all kinds of stuff. Okay. It's a lot of work. You all worked hard in 2021, really hard to keep up. Let's face it, 2022 was all right. 2023, I think some of you all went on vacation. It was so bad. Okay. So your body, even your brain and your physical body, you're a little out of shape at working like that right now. And I'm telling you, that's coming. That's coming. And there's some loan officers who have their cameras on right now. It's already there for them. They're already closing 25 loans this month. It's already game on. Okay. And it's only going to go up from there. And they're looking at bigger Aprils, 30, 35 unit Aprils. Okay. So, you go from closing 8 loans to 30 loans, things are going to break and rattle very, very quickly. And if you've been doing your job and you have been loading up with your BICs, man, we get a little product out there. It's going to be boom, 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 boom. Fish in a barrel. I mean, wham, wham, wham. You're just grabbing those BICs, grabbing the contract. Hopefully you redock the file and you're cooking with gas. You're done. I mean, those things are closing fast, which means your people got to be in shape for it and you got to be in shape. One more thing about having your people in shape. I'm noticing this with teams when I'm sitting with teams with people I do one-on-one with. I'm noticing that because it's been slower, our ops people have slowed themselves down, and they had 10 things to do and they had an hour to do and they got it done. Now they have 10 things to do and they have 3 hours and they get it done in 3 hours. And suddenly you take a couple extra loans and they're, oh, Willie, I'm too busy. You're killing me. And you're looking at them, you're going, this is the same crew I had. We were closing 30 loans a month. We're closing 18 right now. What do you mean you're too busy? What are you talking about? What is going on? Oh, it's just, I don't know. The deals are, no, there's no difference. The difference is you slowed yourself down at Parkinson's law. The difference is you slowed yourself down to just meet, again, 10 things to do. You have 4 hours, do them in 4 hours. Okay. Be careful. I'm actually telling loan officers with teams to tell their people if they are done to not be scared, to be like, hey, Willie, I'm done. I have nothing else to do. And if you don't have something for them to do, I would literally send them home. Let them go get a pedicure, a mani, go for a walk, or go work out. I would rather have them busting it when they're working, okay, and then going and doing something for themselves rather than loafing all day to get the same stuff done. I think it's a better message, and I think it keeps them in better working shape. So be careful, because not only is the spigot going to open and are we going to get this thing turned on, my bet is most of your people are not ready to rock and roll the way they were rock and rolling in 2021. And I don't know if anybody feels the same way or kind of sees it, but I'm seeing it everywhere. Everywhere. Every time I'm on a call with someone I work with one-on-one, there's some kind of conversation regarding an ops person that is underperforming, that was definitely not underperforming in 2021. They were game on. And you're wondering, okay, this is the same person. What is going on? Well, the bottom line is they have just slowed themselves down and melded into the work. And now, everything's a fire drill, or everything is, it's just, there's too much. And that is false. So I would tell everyone, as a big takeaway, exactly. Someone said you can't complain about being too slow, then about being too busy. That's exactly right. That's a great, I don't know who that is because it just says iPhone, but the bottom line is, I'd love you, as a takeaway from this call, to really watch that. Really sit down with your people and see what they're doing. And don't be scared to tell someone, hey, if you're done and there's nothing else that I have for you to do, go take a walk. Go walk your dogs in the park. Okay. And if they're working remote and you can't see them, I'd rather have you address it rather than have them doing it without you knowing they're doing it. Just tell them to do it. And make sure that they're working when they're working, and they're working hard, and they're working very efficiently. Because I think we're going to have a lot of challenges. Because let me tell you something, we're pretty thin in the ops department in just about every company there is. We're pretty skinny there. So you start throwing a bunch of files in the back of the house, you all are going to be jumping up and down like your hair's on fire, yelling about how horrible your company is because they can't get the loans closed. Meanwhile, your people are submitting dumpster fires into the back. Literally, files missing all kinds of crap. Files where underwriters are having to redo income. Just bad files. Not only are you then understaffed, now you're understaffed and you got a bunch of crappy files in there. Okay? So your people should literally, with the time they have on their hands, if you have any conditions on your loans, man, you should be sitting somebody down and going, what is happening here? This is not acceptable. There should be nothing on this file. Okay? So everyone, we covered a couple of things today. We talked a little bit about NAR, which really is not a lot to talk about because nothing is, I mean, it's done, but it's not done. There's still too many moving parts going on. And we definitely talked about being ready on your pre-quals. We talked about mental health and your physical health. And then we put another layer on there, your people. Let's keep an eye on your people. You all, most everyone on this call are grinders. You are built to weather this storm. You don't think twice about being on a call at 9:30 at night, but your people, your ops people, are wired differently. That's why they do what they do and you do what you do. And so we really need to keep an eye out for them as we start to get busier. Okay. So we just hit the 30-minute mark, and I'm going to wish you all a awesome, very productive week. I dare all of you to do 5 B2Bs this week. Again, if you've been through a crush group, you know what I'm asking you to do. I dare you to do it, and I will see everyone in 2 weeks. Keep your head down and grind. See you all later.